Sir, which chapters I have?
Yes.
Sir, which chapters do I have?
Which chapter? You have the people upstairs and another from prose. Hmm. I forget it. It
Sir, which
is
one?
you had one prose, you say.
Sir, I don't remember. I remember the people upstairs only.
Yes, another text you have from prose. I will tell you. Okay, at
Sir,
first,
it's the Great Mouse Plot.
yes, yes, great mouse bot. Yes. Let's start the class, right?
Yes,
With the
sir.
people upstairs by Ogden Nash. So, before going through the text, one thing should be clear about the writer. Ogden Nash, it's a short name. The full name is Frederick Ogden Nash. Mm. He was an American poet and he was 20th century poet. And most famous of these, the most famous poem of this writer is called The Cow.
Yes, sir.
Yes, this is the most famous poem of this writer, Ogden Nash, Frederick Ogden Nash. And in every writing, behind the every writing, there is reason why this poetry was composed by Ogden Nash. This is the question. It comes to the minds of the students why this poem has been composed. In this context, I will say there is no personal involvement of the poet to write this poetry. The poet has composed this poem to describe someone's experience with the upstairs neighbors, right? Someone can be poet, can be any other else. This is still uninvented. Hmm. Who is the someone about whom the poet is composing this
So
poetry?
the people who living in the
Yes,
upstairs.
that means that can be you, that people can be you, that people can be me, right? Anyone
Yes,
else can be the people who has the neighbors, such neighbors upstairs, right?
yes, sir.
One thing I will say that this poetry has been very popular in the world of literature amongst the children mostly because it's a humorous poem. So poet can have suffering for having such neighbors upstairs, can have, cannot have. It is not sure. Hmm. According to the poet's personal life, according to the poet's autobiography, biography, no personal involvement of the poet's life is found here behind composing this poetry. Now, if we go through the explanation and if we go through first reading this text, you see the people upstairs all practice
Ballet.
ballet, yes. The people upstairs all practice ballet. Their living room is a bowling alley. Their bedroom is full of conducted tours. Their radio is louder than yours. They celebrate weekends all the week. When they take a shower, your ceilings leak. They try to get their parties to mix by supplying their guests with pogo sticks, and when their fun at last abates, they go to
They
the
wear
bathroom
roller sports.
on roller skates. I might
Yes,
love the people upstairs more if only they lived on another floor. So explanation can be different, but understanding of this poetry is very easy, right?
yes, sir.
So the people upstairs all practices Ballet. So ballet means, you understand, it's a kind of artistic dance, right? Ballet is a kind of artistic dance. This dance is practiced by the people living upstairs.
Yes, sir.
Their living room is a bowling alley. Bowling alley means it's a kind of track where ball is rolled, right? So bowling alley, living room is called bowling alley. Their bedroom is full of conducted tours. Conducted
That means
tours.
full of people.
Yes, full of people. Full of the people who have been visiting each other there. Their radio is louder than yours. That means their radio sounds more than your radio. So, in the first three line, you are getting the description of living and living room, right? And in the fourth line, you are getting the description of sound, how much loud they are. They are louder than yours. That means their radio is louder than that of yours. They celebrate weekends all the week. That means they behave according to their activities like workless people, right? They are as if workless people. They have no work to do. This is why all the week, that means the whole week, is weekends, right?
Yes, sir.
When they take a shower, your ceilings leak. Yes. In this line, the poet is talking about mm, the shower and ceiling leak to intensify the hindrance they cause, to intensify the noise they cause, right? They try to get their parties to mix by supplying their guests with pogo sticks. Yes, their guests supply pogo stick. They supply their guest with pogo stick. Pogo stick is a kind of toy, right? That is used to jump. So jumping toy, pogo stick, something like this it is called. So you just try to understand, pogo stick is not should not be used in the living room, but they use it there, right? And when they are fun, at least abates. That means when their fun ends, right? When their fun gets an end, they go to the bathroom on roller skate. Roller skate means the shoe with small wheels. Those shoes they use to go to bathroom. I might love the people upstairs more if only they live on another floor. The poet is saying that I'm not hating those people, but I'm confused, I'm disturbed, I'm bothered. I will love those people if they change their living. Hmm. If they exchange their living with me, right?
Yes, sir.
So, explanation of this poem is very easy, and um, so message of the poem. What is the message of the poem? You say message of the poem,
So thinking.
not watch. You are thinking. Okay, think of and say.
So the message of the poem is like there is no such message in the poem. The message in the poem is the poet wanted to describe how noisy their neighbor was.
Message of the poem is that those who have no such neighbors close to them are lucky, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, those who have no such neighbors close to them are lucky.
I lucky.
Yes, suppose you have no such neighbors to make noise to disturb your life, will you not be lucky? Yes, you will be lucky. This is the,
Sir, but I have this verse.
yes, you have in your living, I know that. But you think of the poet's intention of writing this poetry. The poet wants to send the message that the people who have no such neighbors to make noise, to change the poet's life into hell, hmm, are the lucky man, are the lucky men, right? So those who have no such neighbors close to them are lucky.
Sir, the poet's message is that those who don't have those neighbors are lucky.
Yes, that means if such neighbors you don't have, you will be lucky.
Lucky.
And if you think of tone of the poem, you see it has started with formal tone, right?
Yes, sir.
Gradually it becomes informal, aggressive, defensive, sentimental, and so on it becomes throughout. Clear? So you see the formal tone in the very initiation. In the first line particular, you see the tone is formal. Understood? And
Yes,
in the
sir.
middle, you see it becomes informal.
Formal.
And yes, yes, no, informal. Because
Yes,
you
very
see
good.
the tone in the first becomes very gentle, that means formal. Gradually it enters the uh, ground of informality. When the poet talks about their bedroom as conducted tours, is it formal application of the poet in tone?
No, sir.
No.
It's
This is why,
informal.
yes, yes, this is why I said initial tone of the poem is formal, gradually it becomes informal, it also becomes aggressive, it also becomes defensive, sentimental and critical, and so on. The tone is there, the tone are there, right?
Yes, sir.
So you see, defensive tone. You understand defensive tone in the last when the poet wants to come to the condition with the neighbors by exchanging their livings, right? And aggressive, obviously the poet is gently aggressive in the approach, to describe the neighbors, to describe such neighbors. Okay. And what is imagery of this poem? What is imagery of this poem?
Imagery.
Yes, imagery. Imagery is language, Imagery means a thing, a word that has quality to produce image into your brain, right?
Yes.
Suppose if I say tree, T-R-E-E, tree. So you are acknowledged with this word tree, right? This
Yes,
is
sir.
why after listening to this word tree, automatically a image is created on the
Yes.
display of your brain. Then you can
Yes, sir.
understand what about I am talking. Right?
Yes, sir.
In the same way, each and every word in this poetry is called imagery. For example, if you say the poet has stated practicing ballet. So when you have listened the word ballet, then the image of
The
the meaning
dancing
of the
ballet.
word, yes, has been displayed on the screen of your brain, right?
Yes, sir.
And in the same way, roller skate, in the same way, pogo sticks, bowling alley, bedroom, each words are able to produce image in the minds of the readers, right?
Yes,
This
sir.
is why the poet is full of imagery that is undeniable. The poet itself is such to intensify the reader's thought of how life can be hell in such a situation. right?
Yes, sir.
So the poet, by using such imagery, also wants to intensify the reader's thoughts. The poet, through imagery, is also appealing to the reader's senses, right?
Yes, sir.
Reader's senses. That means what the poet is trying to describe, what the poet is trying to mean, trying to convey to the readers, are being actually acknowledged by the readers through their senses. Suppose if the poet talks about radio, you
Yes.
understand radio is a kind of electronic device that produces sound, then
Yes, sir.
your sense organ is becoming active to understand what the poet is trying to convey to you, right?
Yes, sir.
So, in a sense, you just keep in mind that imagery is language itself, that is such to intensify the reader's thought of how life can be changed into hell in such a situation. Situation means, you understand, chaotic situation, the situation that gives chaos, that gives noise, right?
Yes, sir.
And what is the main theme of the poem? You say, what is the main theme of this poem?
So the main thing of the poem is that the poet wants to yes, sir. So that the poet wants to s- explain, describe the opposite upstairs যে লোকগুলো ছিল, their sounds and the
Yes,
things
yes,
which made
yes.
him
You were describing, but its theme is reality. Reality is the main theme because reality is focused on. That means, in reality, life of living in peace and tranquility can be spoiled by such neighbors who are aggressive and noisy or chaotic situation maker, right?
yes, sir.
Suppose you have been staying in your apartment, right?
Yes, sir.
There are so many people have been living upstairs. They are producing terrible noise. Will your not peace break? Will your
So
not
I will get
tranquility
angry.
spoiled?
So I will get angry.
Yes, you becomes angry even by the disturbance of the neighbors who have been living upstairs in your apartment. So you try to understand, it's a kind of reality that the poet wants to focused on, right? Wants to focus on, right? So reality here means the life of living in peace and tranquility can be spoiled by the neighbors who are aggressive and noisy and chaotic situation maker. Are not such neighbors are chaotic situation maker? Yes, they are the chaotic situation maker. They are
Yes,
the
sir.
chaotic situation producer. They are aggressive. They are noisy too. This is why your life is
So they
becoming
are aggressive
hell.
and noisy for the neighbor, but actually they are not.
Actually, your neighbors are aggressive. Aggressive means you are very informal. That means you are very, you are not so much gentle by your behavior. You understand? Aggressive means you don't know how to behave. You don't know how to conduct. You don't know how to live. That means when always a quarrelsome situation is made by someone, that someone can be called aggressive, right? So here, if your neighbor is aggressive, noise maker, chaotic situation maker, will you stay in peace? No, it is not possible to anyone to stay in peace. right?
Yes, sir.
So main theme is reality, that is intentionally focused on by the poet to mean that a tranquil life can be changed into hell by such never who are aggressive, noisy, and
So your
chaotic
whole day
situation
will get
maker.
destroyed.
Yes,
Your whole day will get destroyed.
yes, your whole day can be destroyed. Okay, this was the main theme of this poetry. And hyperbole. What is hyperbole? Hyperbole, you
Like
understand?
exaggeration.
Yes, it's a figure of speech in which the subject or okay. Hyperbole is exaggeration, you said, right? Yes, obviously it is
Yes.
exaggeration, but exaggeration is also a kind of figure of speech, right? So, hyperbole or exaggeration is a figure of speech in which the subject or object in subject is intentionally exaggerated by the writer. Here by the poet Ogden Nash has been done, right? So, you see, this poetry is a hyperbole. This poetry is an
So the whole poetry is hyperbole.
Yes, the whole poetry is hyperbole. Why? The whole poetry is hyperbole. Why? Very easy. Try to answer why. The entire poetry is called hyperbole.
Because the poet has exaggerated every single thing to means very complicated and big things.
Yes, yes, a trivial thing. This is called insignificant or trivial thing. That is made a big issue, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, the poet has done so deliberately to intensify the thoughts of the readers, to convey the main message to the readers, to convey the reality to the readers, what the poet, what the man has been facing with the chaotic neighbors. So this poetry is hyperbole for having used so many words, phrases like you see ballet, bowling alley, conducted tours, radio, ceiling leak, pogo sticks, roller skates, right? These are actually used to make the poetry a hyperbole. So in hyperbole, it is commonly seen an insignificant or trivial thing is made a big issue, right? By exaggerating. So
So the poet exaggerated everything means with
yes,
very big things, means very
yes,
big issues.
yes. So you see then, uh, those things I said ballad, bowling alley, conducted tours, radio, ceiling leak, pogo sticks, roller skates. These are also the symbols, symbols. So each word is called symbol because ballad is a symbol of artistic dance. In the same way bowling alley is a track where ball is rolled, so each and every phrase and word is called symbol because they have their signifieds, right? They have their meanings, but those meanings have been deliberately used in the description of a situation where those things, those ideas, those words, phrases should not be used or are not found commonly to be used. Understood? So, can you commonly find bowling alley in your bedroom? Can you find commonly bowling alley in your bedroom?
No, sir.
It cannot be
How will I
found.
find?
Yes. How will you find? It cannot be found there because it's not absolute or appropriate location, right? So you see, use of these are shown where they should not be used, right?
Yes, sir.
So use of those are shown by the poet deliberately where they should not be used. As you said, you cannot find bowling alley in your bedroom because bedroom and bowling alley both are different ideas by their signifieds. They are inappropriate if you use them together to mean bowling alley in your bedroom, that the poet has deliberately done in this poetry. So you see, the poet has intentionally